Welcome to the Coaches Show. I'm here with head coach and district athletic director of Dublin High School, Roger Holmes. Coach, we're heading into the first week of opening season, scrimmage game last week. Heading into the first game, we're going to bring Swainsboro in here to the Shamrock Bowl. But before we get started, I'd like to take a minute and pay tribute to a legend, Stan Smith, who sat in this chair for many, many years, passed away this week, and he's one person that I'm dearly going to miss, and we're going to miss around Dublin football.
Stan was a good man, a great supporter. As you say, when I first got here, he ran this TV show for a long time. I told his son the other day, he kind of taught me a lot about Dublin, Georgia. He did a lot of our games over the years on TV 35 up there with Crater Nelson.
Yep.
But just a tremendous person who cared about our youth in this community, and he served our community very well in a lot of community service roles. And it's a sad day for Dublin to lose Mr. Stan, but he'll still be watching games.
Right, he will, and he's one personally meant a lot to me, and a lot of folks out there in this community. And I think at this time we'll pay tribute. We'll have a moment of silence on there, and we'll be back with some Dublin football.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish, and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go, yes, sir.
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football, so let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo!
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Here, Mr. Jones, here's your tune-up parts. Thank you.
Chevy or GMC, we've got your trucks.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
The best in high school sports coverage in the state of Georgia is known by one name, the GSHA All Access. Tune in right here weekly to stay current with player profiles, coaches' conversations, and what's happening in GHSA sports. The GHSA All Access. Right here. Presented by Powers Media Network.
And we're back, Coach. we got the scrimmage game up under our belt, brought Hawkinsville back in here this year. Last year we went over there. A little undermanned team, I think. I think we probably knew that with them coming in here. But it was a good day, a good evening, I think, for you guys to figure out. As you said before, I'm not really sure who I want to plug in certain holes. I'm not sure how these guys are going to react without a coach 5 feet behind them on a practice field hollering at them. Are they going to be able to line up? Is my linebacker going to be able to call signals? Can they get out of the huddle offensively? How my quarterback's going to act? There were a lot of questions I know you guys had throughout the summer watching them, and you're not behind them 5 feet in their ear. They're out there by their lawn, and I think you got some questions answered.
Well, I was very pleased with how we performed in our opening night, as you would say. We had some issues. We had a couple of 2 or 3 times where kids weren't where they needed to be on the sideline. Special teams happened. You had to run somebody down. They weren't locked in like they needed to be. We were able to, from an offensive standpoint, I thought our offensive line, the 1s, 2s, and the 3s, performed pretty good for the first night out assignment-wise. We didn't bust a lot of assignments. Our running backs played well. We had a few what I would consider, we got by with a couple of illegal procedure penalties, guys leaning a little bit, anticipating the snap count.
Happens with your offense, though.
Got to clean that up. I thought the quarterback play, all 3 of them or 4 that played the other night, were steady in their command of the team, getting in and out of the huddle, getting the plays called, getting the formations right. A couple of little hiccups here or there, but that part was good. Defensively, we were concerned about getting lined up to all the different formations that Hawkinsville had, and we challenged our young men. For the most part, after the first couple of plays, our kids settled in, and we were where we needed to be, where we wanted them to be. Played with really good effort.
I thought so.
Ran to the ball, tackled well. Our conditioning seemed to be okay, but when you look at it now, the way that scrimmage went, the 1s only played half a game, but they had an 8-minute break in between 2 sessions in the first half and a 20-minute halftime.
And it was 81 degrees.
So you're not going to have
it wasn't 96
in the first game. So all in all, we got out of it pretty healthy. We had one young man that slightly sprained an ankle. We're not sure whether he'll be able to go this week or not, and if not, it'll be a factor for us, but I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want Swainsboro to be able to pick out who it was.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure they're monitoring this, but at the end of the day, a pretty good night.
Right. I thought J-Man, I thought Carcamo played a good, pretty game for you.
Both those young men, they're alternating over there at that right wing back position, and both played very well. Both of them start for us on defense. So being able to give them a little bit of rest and not see drop-off in your offensive production was extremely good. I thought Dontavius Cannon at fullback had a really good night.
That kid can go.
Jaden McCray got in the end zone for us at fullback. He had a good solid night. In his reps at fullback, along with Zion Mitchell, and then Trav Bostic, I think, had 4 touchdowns, one of those off of a blocked punt. He not only blocked the punt, he scooped and scored. When you talk about our kicking game, it was kind of hit or miss. We made some big plays in the kicking game, and then we had a gaff or 2. We missed a couple extra points, missed one, mishandled the snap on one. And one placement out of all the kickoffs was not really where we needed it to be. So at the end of the night, I was proud because all of our every young man that really competed in the game, and some that were down the list played in the fourth quarter.
Well, you had 70-something kids. I think everybody played that night. I tell you, one kid that really got the stadium, the stands, over there jumping and talking and hollering pretty good was the Lukey kid with 3 pretty good standout tackles on defense.
Lukey had a good night on defense, and he's one of those. He's in a backup role for us right now, but he's going to have to play, and he's going to have to play a lot of snaps. You know, you could call him a 1A and a 1B.
Right.
You know, he's going to play both sides of the football. He's continuing to get better, I think, as his confidence improves, the better he's going to play. You know, sometimes you know, us as the coaches are guilty of overcoaching.
Right.
Every single thing that our players do now, there are eyes on them, and we're trying to correct what they do. And sometimes the kid doesn't understand that what he did was pretty doggone good, but we can still be a little better. You can play a little lower. And they've got, you know, as one of the old sayings goes, if you strive for perfection, you'll end up with excellence.
Right.
And that's
good quote.
One of the things that we're constantly trying to get our young men to understand. And Blake is one of those guys that he's playing pretty good. But if we can get just a few more things worked out, he's going to be hard to handle.
Right.
But defensively, secondary played pretty good. We missed 4 or 5 tackles the other night in open field. And that's an area that we've really got to hone in on and do a better job this week in practice.
Right. Well, the kids were upbeat. The kids were excited. We could all tell from the stands Friday night they were ready. And I think that's a tribute maybe from some of the practices. I've watched a bunch of practices this year. And it seems like it's kind of a different team. This team is really upbeat. They really get into the practice. They're excited. They're over there hooting and hollering. When somebody makes a good stick on the sideline or whatever, you know, it seems like they've bonded pretty well through the summer, Coach.
Well, I think you can only be good if you're tight knit.
Right.
You know, we talked to them. Another one of those old sayings, you know, if you got in a fight with somebody, would you rather them slap you with an open hand or hit you with a tight fist? Because the tighter you get, the more power you have as a football team. So, you know, that's kind of one of our things that you're only as good as your weakest link.
Right.
You know,
they seem to be coming together. It's just a different squad. You know, you got football teams that come through, you know, through your 24 years here, and every team's different. You know that. I know that, and I like to watch and kind of see how they mold together. And, you know, this team's molding kind of early this year. So with that, Coach, I think we'll take a break, and we'll come back with information, and we'll talk about Swainsboro.
Sounds good.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish, and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go, yes, sir.
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football. So let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo!
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Here, Mr. Jones, here's your tune-up parts. Thank you.
Chevy, or GMC, we've got your trucks.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin, Chevy, GMC, Nissan.
The best in high school sports coverage in the state of Georgia is known by one name, the GSHA All Access. Tune in right here weekly to stay current with player profiles, coaches' conversations, and what's happening at GHSA Sports. The GHSA All Access. Right here. Presented by Powers Media Network.
We're back, Coach, bringing Swainsboro Tigers in here, one of our oldest rivals probably, into the Shamrock Bowl Friday night. And like Jason Hawkins said, Swainsboro's going to be Swainsboro. You know, they may be a little different, but Swainsboro's going to be Swainsboro, and they're going to bring it to you in here to the Shamrock Bowl Friday night.
You know, I went back and I was looking at the Georgia Football Historian's website the other day, because y'all have heard me mention lots of times Dublin's oldest rival. The two oldest rivals are Swainsboro and Dodge County.
Right, either one.
So then I went trying to clarify. Okay, well, Swainsboro High School, we have played Swainsboro High School more than we have played anybody else. We've played Dodge County the second most, but if Eastman High School, before they became, we played Eastman several times.
Right.
And you add Eastman and Dodge County together, we played them more than we have Swainsboro. So technically, Swainsboro High School is the oldest rival. I think the record is somewhere like 42 wins for Dublin, 26 wins for Swainsboro.
Coach has been over there about 9 years now.
Maybe a couple of ties. And, you know, since I've been in Dublin, we're a little bit on the upper end, but it's about as close to 50-50 as you can. I agree with Jason Holcomb. You know, when you line up to play Swainsboro, you know they're going to be athletic. They're going to have some size. They're going to have some physicality. And Scott Roberts, their head football coach, is one tremendous football coach.
He is.
And he's going to have them prepared. They're going to play well. They're going to be sound. And what little bit of information we have on them, knowing who graduated from last year, and we traded our scrimmage film with them. They didn't have a scrimmage in the spring. So there's really one film out there that you can see on them, and we got that film. And he may be hiding some stuff.
Not real sure.
Like we're hiding some stuff from him, you know. I mean, that's all part of the gamesmanship of a scrimmage game. There's things that you might have been working on all season, but they don't show up in that scrimmage
game, right?
So, you know, but I know that they have 4 young men that from our game last year that are returning on their defense. One of them is a number 54, a young man named Tarver. Tremendous athlete, defensive end, plays with a high motor, really runs well to the football. You know, I told y'all last night at the Booster Club meeting, another one's number 50. Okay, last name of Foskey. Well, 2 of the better football
we know that name.
We had were from Adrian, Georgia, that played here, and the one that played for me was Chopper Foskey, which is right there on the Emmanuel County line. It wouldn't surprise me if it's not part of that family, and he's about 6'3", 225, about like Chopper.
Your Foskey genetics.
And play, and just tremendous. They've got a linebacker in there. It's a junior, number 9. He hasn't played this in the scrimmage the other night. Word is there's a little bit of a shoulder issue, but he's going to be there Friday
Right.
night. You can't
You can
hide
bet on
that
it.
one, okay? He's going to be there, and he changes their defense because he is, without question, he's a Division I football player at about 6'4", looks to be about 230, and look for him to run the football a little bit. And then they've got a DB returning. So they've got a lot of new faces out there on defense, very similar to us. Offensively, they had a down year last year. They had to replace a group of offensive linemen that they'd had around there for about 3 years, and that group took them to that state championship game 2 years in a row.
Those two running backs and the DeMello Jones kid that's up there at Georgia now, that group, they had to replace those kids.
But about all of them are back this year.
Right.
And they're bigger and they're faster. And they took a big old left tackle they had that is one grown man, about 6'5", about 330. They moved him from tackle, put him at guard. They've got a senior quarterback there that threw touchdowns, 2 touchdowns down here really when he was a freshman that beat us. He threw a couple of balls up to Jones, who went up and made plays, and he's still there. And when he's in the game, he likes to throw it around, and they do a good job of throwing the RPO game and that type stuff. And I think the number one guy that jumps out on you on the film wears number 15 for them. He's a starting DB, and they use him as a wildcat quarterback. They use him in the slot to throw him the ball and run the jet sweeps. He is a home run hitter,
do it all
play type of guy. We certainly have to know where he is if we're going to have a good night on defense.
Right. What about their kicking game? We got anything on their kicking game? Whether we've only seen a scrimmage.
Well, we got to see obviously the scrimmage, and they didn't do any of it live. But I know 15's back there to return kickoffs, and I know the other young man that's back there. It seems to have a great deal of speed, so they scare you with that. Their extra point guy made all his extra points the other night. They did not kick off deep. Most of the kickoffs, I think the deepest kickoff went to about the 17-yard line. But again, do they have another guy? Because they've always kind of had a straight toe guy, and he could be that big linebacker, and he's liable to kick it through the back of the end zone.
Well, it's kind of like offensively. I think Swainsboro is probably not like they had been in years past. They've got a pretty decent quarterback that can scare you. They've always had a couple of running backs. I mean, that could just straight fly. Well,
it hadn't changed.
That's what always has scared us, is that they've not always had one, but they've usually had two. You've had to kind of keep your eye on them, and it just seems like they're bringing basically the same kind of a group over here, just not proven yet.
Well, same deal. They're Coach Roberts, their head football coach, loves to throw the football. He wants to throw the football, and but the last couple of years, those 2 state championship games that they played in, so on and so forth, he had told me, he said, Coach, we can get done what we need to get done running the football, and we just aren't quite the same with throwing. It's kind of like throw it. It sounds like somebody else.
It's kind of like Dublin. Dublin like to throw the ball. My gosh, we got Will Wallace sitting out there with all that height on him and speed that can catch the ball and run with the ball, and some other guys out there. We like to do the same thing and can if we need to.
Well, just take your pick. At the end of the day, we had someone ask at the Booster Club meeting last night, something along those lines. But in reality, play to your team's strengths. Continue to work on the things that aren't your greatest strength. And by the end of the year, by the playoff time, when game 11 gets here, if you're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, then you've got an opportunity that's just adds
open
more
things
and
up
more to what you do. And we're going to be a run football team first.
Absolutely.
That's what we are. And until you can do that well, it's hard to move on, because that's what we are going to hang our hat on is physical style of football play. And hopefully we don't turn the football over. We take care of it and play great defense and don't give up big plays in the kicking game. And that's really the recipe for trying to win football games at Dublin High School.
Coach, before we close out, it's been another good show. Let's talk about tickets, how folks maybe can get tickets, go fan or go to the board office, or if you want to get speak a word on that.
You can purchase season tickets at the board office, although they told me they've been selling great, and there are not a lot of them left in that center section. So if you're planning on chair back seating or reserve seating in that center section, you better hustle.
Right.
The numbers of them are selling out very quickly, is my understanding. All tickets have to be purchased by GoFan. You have to purchase them on your electronic device. You can walk up to the ticket booth with that device, show your ticket, and off you go.
No cash.
No cash.
Getting into the game.
It's all handled through the GoFan, and that's for the single game ticket prices are $10, and I think GoFan has a $1 charge that they charge to get their part of it.
They do.
And again, that's one of the reasons why if you go do the season ticket, there are no surcharges, and you just walk up with your ticket.
Or join the Booster Club.
Join the Century Club. You get 2 season tickets for that.
Right.
You get information, or you get to attend the tailgating, and the food out there is always phenomenal. And you get to park right in front of the stadium in the reserve touchdown club area, and you get 2 tickets to the banquet at the end of the year. So it's kind of a no-brainer.
Right. If you want to join the touchdown club, get in touch with President Alton Culver, Kurt Hartwell, Lisa Daniels, those guys.
They might even call you. You might be able to hook them up.
They can call me. I can hook them up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Coach, again, it's been a great show. We'll close it out, and we'll come back next week with some highlights.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish, and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go, yes, sir.
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football, so let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo!
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Here, Mr. Jones, here's your tune-up parts. Thank you.
Chevy or GMC, we've got your trucks.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
The best in high school sports coverage in the state of Georgia is known by one name, the GSHA All Access. Tune in right here weekly to stay current with player profiles, coaches' conversations, and what's happening in GHSA sports. The GHSA All Access. Right here. Presented by Powers Media Network.